Okay, now we are going to discuss about user profile updating process. When we have some update in this any field, we have to process to make that update in our database. When we had any change with that any field, and when we click this update my profile button, we have to change our data in our database. Mm, let's see how we done that in our user profile. We have that user update my profile button. When that button has been clicked, then this update profile function start. Then that function is when working, we have got that all element by their ID that which we change. If we change postal code, we can't change a postal code. If we change city ID, we have that ID here. We get that value from this ID also in our input tags. We have get that values from that ID, and we got all the data, all the element by their IDs, and we get profile image and first name, last name, mobile, update password, email, address line 1, address line 2, province, district, city, and postal code. All those value is change. We have to change that. Therefore, we got all that data by their IDs, and we have to a new form data, and we append that data into that form by name and value. Where we have profile image. In that case, we have to take that profile image by file, and we say that index value is 0, and other values we have append that form, and we get a new XML request, and we send it to user profile update process. Then we are going to look in user profile update process. As usual, we start a session, and we require our connection. Then we checked our session is set. If it is set, then we assign our user email, assign variable by using our session, and we got our email by that session, and we cache the all data which sent by our JavaScript, and we assign that values to those variable, and uh, that in a when we looking at image file, we have mm, we have to get that image by using dollar file. Then we have to get that value. Let's look at next part. we uh, we assign result set for address, and we get our database and write a query for user has address, and we use our email address to get that result, and we checked our result, how many records are there. If it is one, that means we have a valid user in our database. If it is right, as equal to one, then we update our database. First of all, we update our other data, first name, last name, like without we have to change that email in last step, because we change our email address by initial step. uh, we can't change other data by using our email address. We got that email address by our session, and if we change that email initial state, then we can't find by that using that email. Therefore, we update that email address in last step. Then we looking at next one. We got our database, and I got IUD, insert update data, delete, and write a query, update user has address, our table user has address, and we change our if value are changed, then we set our line 1 as which uh, came by our JavaScript. Then we set that value into this part by using concat, and also we change our we set our line 2 and postal code, and also city ID by using our email address. Mm, if that mm, address num equal to 0, then we haven't any data inserted by our user. Therefore, we have to insert that data in our database. Therefore, we write a query for insert into our data, our table, and we say our columns, line 2 and other columns, and we get our values by our variables in our from our variables. Then our this field part is done by that two queries. Then we have to set our if user change or change that email or may change or insert a new one, then we have to change that picture and we have to save that picture in our saver. Therefore, we done these steps. First one is we assign a variable allowed image extension that variable we have those values which like that image and JPG image and that means what is the file type and what is the extension of that file. Because we have to consider the user set that file any image if it is not another file we have to consider by using those values if PNG file, JPG file or SVG plus XML file that's are allowed image extension, others are not allowed. Then we have to check if is we have our user had a change or set image and we checked that file which sent by JavaScript is set. If that file are come to our PHP, we are doing that process. If it is not file dot, if it is not, we done nothing. That if a picture selected by user, then we do those steps. First is we assign a variable profile image and we equal that one to our profile image file. That means that name of that file and file type we get that file type by using that type function. Then we checked is it a valid image extension. Therefore, we use that file type which came by our JavaScript. That file type is equal to our allowed image extension that to that values. If it is equal to any of these values in that array, we are going to do these steps and we assign a variable, a new file type, and we checked what is the file type of that file and that file type that if it is that file type equal to this file type, the new file type equal to that extension like that JPG extension dot JPG and also other we use else and if it is matched to any of this one value, then we assign a value for that new file type, any of these value. Then we assign another variable called file name, and it is equal to our resource and profile image. That is our resources and profile image. We use that path and that file name, and we concat our user last name and concat his mobile, and concat unique ID, and concat our matched extension file last as a last part, and we set that file name like that. Then we move uploaded file, that uploaded file by that we have that file, and that file we got that file name, and we move to that file into our this part, that means into our this folder, by using that move upload file. First part is what is file and where to move, and next step is we assign another variable called image rs and results it, and get a database, and use a search query and select all from our profile image, and we uh, use a condition which user email equal our user email. That means in our profile image, we checked is that email equal to our user profile, because sometime the user haven't upload any picture before, or before which that process is done. Therefore, we have to check is there any record in our database. If it is there a record, we can check by using that image number, by using number rows, and if it is equal to 1, then we have to update our profile image and set path as our uh, file name, that path, and we use again our condition as email, and if is there no record, then we have to insert that data into uh, our profile image table. Then we use our path and columns, and say that values path as a file name and email as our user email. In that process, if is there not match that file type, then we echo file type does not allow to upload, and that part is that. And last is final one is we have to change our email as we discussed earlier. Then we checked again is user email. If there are user email, we have email sometimes in some condition we have to check that one. Then if it is one, we have to update that user first name, last name, and user password and mobile and email. If that one is done, then we echo a success. If we are looking for another, we have looking that one because security reasons, and if it is not equal to one, we echo you are not a valid user. Uh, that's how we done our profile setting process, and we can update and insert our data into our user profile tables. And thank you.